My name is Byron Morris, and I'm a member of this year's Advent Stewardship Committee. The theme of this year's stewardship campaign is "The Lord is my rock." I've been tasked with making a talk during the second week of our campaign using the letter O as my theme, O being the second letter in the word rock. To be honest, mention the letter O to me in October, and the first thing that comes to my mind is oysters. A great deal of my oyster consumption has occurred in neighborhood bars and restaurants in and around New Orleans. Places where oysters come from beds located in parishes along the Gulf Coast with names like Plaquemines or Terrebonne or Lafourche. Most of the old New Orleans restaurants don't leave their oysters to happenstance. They own their oyster beds. Actually, they lease them from the state of Louisiana, but in many cases, these oyster beds are a carefully managed resource, a legacy that is handed down from one generation of restaurant owners to the next. At this point, I really wish I could call to mind a wonderful old hymn about oysters, or even a Bible verse extolling the wondrous virtues of the oyster. But the best I can come up with is to remind you that the Church of the Advent is a legacy handed down to us, the result of the incredible work and generosity, and yes, sacrifice, by generations gone by. I think my fellow Stewardship Committee member Trey Tice stated it far more eloquently in his letter to the parish last week. We are beneficiaries of generations at the Advent who came before. We honor them by doing our part as we stand upon their shoulders and add to their extraordinary legacy of Christian charity and service. The people of the Advent who came before us indeed lived the scripture that we find in the book of Matthew. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And by the way, please join me at the Advent's annual oyster roast tonight, beginning at 6 p.m. Tickets are available at the door. See you there.